These folks want to dismiss the promise of solar power and wind power and fuel-efficient cars. In fact, they make jokes about it. One member of Congress, who shall remain unnamed, called these jobs phony. Called them phony jobs. I mean, think about that mindset, that attitude that says because something is new, it must not be real. You know, these guys were around when Columbus set sail. They'd be charter members of the Flat Earth Society. We were just talking about this. That a lack of imagination, a belief that you can't do something in a new way, that's not how we operate here in America. That's not who we are. That's not what we're about. These politicians need to come to Boulder City and see what I'm seeing. They should talk to the people who are involved in this industry, who have benefited from the jobs, who benefit from ancillary businesses that are related to what's going on right here. Now, all of you know that when it comes to new technologies, the payoffs aren't always going to come right away. Sometimes you need a jump start to make it happen. That's been true of every innovation that we've ever had. And we know that some discoveries won't pan out. Yeah, there's the VCR and the beta and all that stuff. And each successive generation recognizes that some technologies are going to work, some won't. Some companies will fail, some companies will succeed. Not every auto company succeeded in the early days of the auto industry. Not every airplane manufacturer succeeded in the early days of the aviation, but we understood as Americans that if we keep on this track and we're at the cutting edge, then that ultimately will make our economy stronger and it will make the United States stronger. It will create jobs, it will create businesses, it will create opportunities for middle-class Americans and folks who want to get into the middle class. That's who we are. That's what we're about. So I want everybody here to know that as long as I'm president, we will not walk away from the promise of clean energy.
Yeah!
I'm not going to walk away from places like Boulder City. I'm not going to give up on the new to cede our position to China or Germany or all the other competitors out there who are making massive investments in clean energy technology. I refuse to see us stand by and not make the same commitment. That's not what we do in America. It's not who we are as a country. You know, one of the main reasons I ran for this office is I didn't think that our leaders were doing enough to tackle the big challenges, the hard challenges, to seize the big opportunities. And energy is one of the best examples. We have been talking about changing our energy policies for 30 years. When I was the age of these guys right here, when I was 10, 11, right in the 70s, and my grandparents were complaining about long gas lines, we were talking about how we were going to do things differently. 30, 40 years, and we keep on doing the same stuff. We keep on punting. We keep on putting it off. For decades, Washington kept kicking the can down the road. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to make sure when these guys are grown up that they're seeing solar panels all across the country. They're seeing American-made energy and American-made power. They're benefiting from a cleaner environment. They're seeing jobs and opportunity. That's what I want to see. So as long as I'm president, we're going to develop every available source of energy. That is a promise that I'm making to you. And yes, that means we make investments in stuff that is new, and we stop subsidizing stuff that's old.
Yeah.
You know, the current members of the Flat Earth Society in Congress, they would rather see us continue to provide $4 billion in tax subsidies, tax giveaways to the oil companies.
No.
$4 billion to an industry that is making record profits. Every time you fill up the pump, they're making money. They are doing just fine. They're not having any problems. And yet, on top of what we're paying at the pump, we're also going to give them $4 billion in subsidies that could be going into making sure that we're investments in clean energy for the future. That doesn't make any sense. Does that make any sense?
No.
All right, I just want to make sure, because I didn't think it was a wise use of your tax dollars. We have subsidized oil companies for a century. We want to encourage production of oil and gas and make sure that wherever we've got American resources, we are tapping into them. But they don't need an additional incentive when gas is $3.75 a gallon.
No.
When oil is $1.20 a barrel, $1.25 a barrel, they don't need additional incentives. They are doing fine.
They hurt our environment.
Yes. A century of subsidies to oil companies is long enough. It's time to end the taxpayer giveaways to an industry that's rarely been more profitable and double down on investments in an energy industry that has never been more promising. So Congress needs to pass more tax credits for projects like this one, needs to provide certainty when it comes to these tax credits. We need to go out there and do what a lot of states are doing right now, which is saying, let's get a certain percentage of our energy from clean energy sources, because when we do that, that gives a company like this one certainty that they're going to have customers, and they can invest more and build more. We need to keep Americans on the job. We need to keep these homes powered by clean energy. We need to support the businesses that are doing it.